Welcome back once again to West Kentucky Stars Basketball Weekly. I'm your host, Dan Sheppard, and with me, as always, is the coach of the Stars, Coach Mike Chumbler. Coach, welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you. Glad to be here.
Did you have a good Thanksgiving?
Good Thanksgiving. Well, a good day before Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving night didn't go so well, but good holiday.
Thanksgiving, you traveled up to Three Rivers for their Thanksgiving Classic tournament. It's a 4-team round robin. How did that weekend go for you?
It started out kind of shaky because I spoke to Coach Bess the day before Thanksgiving to confirm the time we play, and he told me 7 o'clock. So I told the kids, be at the gym ready to leave at 3 o'clock. When I get to the gym the next day, I had an email his son had sent at 9 o'clock that night, said, no, Coach, y'all play at 5 o'clock.
Yeah, I noticed that time. What was up with that time change? How did that?
They mixed the times up, and so we drove 2 hours straight from here, went and warmed up for 20 minutes, and got out and played. And really played well considering the circumstances.
Maybe you need to do that every game.
Well, we may. It takes away that long travel excuse anyway. So.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, that's a good place to play up there at Three Rivers.
It really is. It's a great gym, a great floor. I wish we had that floor. And a good atmosphere. Three Rivers brings a big crowd.
Yeah, they do have a big
even
crowd.
When they're not playing, they have a lot of, they're basketball people.
They are basketball people. They're used to seeing a lot of wins up there. Coach Gene Bess, winningest coach in junior college history.
In college history.
Oh, sorry. I stand corrected.
College history. No, he passed Pat Summit. And,
okay.
Yeah, no, he
like
passed
1,200 wins.
1,200 wins and only 300 and something losses.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean it really is. The banners on the wall tell the story.
Yeah, he's got a couple national championships up there.
And they were runner-up in 2010. So
not too shabby.
No, it's not ancient history.
Right. All right. We will talk more about that tournament when we come back. You are watching West Kentucky Stars Basketball Weekly. Welcome back to WK Stars Basketball Weekly. I'm Dan Sheppard, and Coach, this time you traveled over to Three Rivers over in Poplar Bluff, Missouri. Pretty good little trip for you.
Right.
And the first team you face is a team out of Northeast Oklahoma.
Right. And, excuse me, and they were big too. They had a 7'1" guy, didn't play a lot, but he's still 7'1". They had a guy 6'10" and 6'9" who were both exceptionally skilled. The 6'10" guy, he's a high D1, and They had a 6-foot guard who could really play too.
Right, and like I was saying in the break, if you got a 7'1" guy, that's somebody at least you got to practice against.
Right,
You
right.
know, and you don't have any 7'1" guys you get to practice against. So
No, you can't replicate that in
Right,
practice. We hold up a broom handle or something, but that's about it.
that's about all you can do.
Right.
All right, let's see these highlights, Coach. Pablo, he's going to hit this shot here, but he was a little bit under the weather in this trip, right?
Right. He was really sick. Now he does need to do more of that jump stop that he did in that first one.
Right. And there's Jacob Williams hitting one of his many 3-point shots.
Yeah,
how big was he in this game for you?
He was huge. He was 7 for 10 from the 3-point line in this game. Now the only bad part was the other coaches over there watching that too. Mm-hmm. So they knew what they had to defend.
Right. Yeah, and he also, there was a great pass he put in too.
Yeah, he played a good game.
I felt like if he doesn't get into foul trouble, you guys have a really good chance of winning this game.
I'd say you're right. You know, because he kept us in it. A good move by Zach.
It's a great move. Your halftime score there was a pretty close game. You're down 4 points.
4 points and hadn't played great.
Right, and Jake Williams, like I said, he's in foul trouble. He really probably only played about 10 minutes out of that first half.
Yeah. He ended up with 25 points in 27 minutes.
27 minutes. That's pretty good. Nearly a point a minute. That's pretty good production right there.
And when you get 3 of them every shot, it
They
helps
count
out.
up quickly, don't they?
Right.
It's another good unselfish play right there.
That's a good job of DJ running the floor.
How well did DJ do this weekend?
DJ played better than anything. DJ, you know what you're going to get out of DJ every game. And I've overused the word, but DJ's a warrior. And he comes to play. I called him in the office this week to make sure I wasn't playing him too many minutes because he's having to go all the time.
Mm-hmm. Goodness, I don't know. It just doesn't seem like he gets tired out there. When you just watch him, he is just everywhere, all over the place, on defense, on offense. He's doing everything for you.
Well, he's been our leading rebounder in every game the last 4 or 5 games except the last one.
Right. How tall is he?
5'11". 5'11".
Leading rebounder. I think he might be stretching that 5'11" too a little bit.
Maybe.
Your leading rebounder. Slashing through right there with that basket too.
But he's so quick and he goes after everything.
Oh, nice, man.
Good move by Zach.
7 points down, roughly 10 minutes to go, and you guys are still fighting hard, still in this game.
That could have been and one right there.
Mm-hmm.
There's DJ.
Right. And how in the world can he get that tip in right there?
He outworks everyone.
Just beyond me.
He doesn't just outwork everyone on our team. A lot of times he outworks everyone on the other team.
Right. They're having to come way out there to guard Jake.
Yeah.
That opens up Pablo over there on another wing.
That helps a lot. See, DJ's got space there because they're having to cheat out so far on
This is a huge
Jake.
shot right here that Zach hits. Knocks down the 2. I think he hit the free throw there too.
Zach shot really well all 3 games.
Yes, he did.
DJ going right after 6'10" or 6'9".
Zach's another guy. He's just so smart, and he's going to give you all he's got.
Yeah, he is. Rebound by Anthony.
Yeah, that one was one you couldn't help but rebound. It just bounced right to him, didn't it?
Yeah.
But again, in this particular game, Jake Williams, he fouls out with how many minutes to go? Did you say that was?
There was about 5 minutes
Yeah.
to go, and the ref had came to me right before, and he said, "Why isn't this guy playing D1 or D2?" He said, "He's the best shooter I've ever seen." And I'll be dang if he didn't foul him out the next play. The next play, he fouled him out. I'm like, geez, cut him some, so, you know.
Like maybe that's why he's not
Keep
playing.
him in the
'cause-
game, you can watch him some more. You know, but
All right, Coach. Well, that was pretty good effort on you guys. You pleased with your play in that game?
that game I was. Considering everything, I was pleased. Yeah.
Right,
I mean,
right.
'cause Northeast
Oh, so-
Oklahoma is a very good team.
Very good team. Very good
And
team.
we, considering the time change circumstances, and I was pleased with that game.
Good game. Good first game. We're going to talk about the next two games when we come back. You are watching West Kentucky Stars Basketball Weekly. Welcome back to another segment of West Kentucky Stars Basketball Weekly. I'm sitting here one more time with the coach of the Stars. And Coach, last week, the middle game of the Three Rivers holiday or Thanksgiving Classic is none other than Three Rivers you go up against.
Right.
And what do they have for you?
They're tough. They're really tough. The bad thing was they sat there and watched us play in Northeast Oklahoma. And they knew Jake could shoot,
Right.
so they put Eustace, who's 6'7" and going to Ole Miss next year, put him on
Solid
Jake,
player.
and he's a great player. And put him on Jake, and he shut Jake down. I mean, there's no
Right.
other way to put it.
Right. And that game, I felt like it was going into it, it was a game that you guys were going to have to do everything right, and Three Rivers going to have to do a few things wrong for you to be able to win this game, and that just did not happen.
Right. Well,
Three Rivers, they did everything right, it seemed like.
yeah. And I believe we shot really bad that game. We did shoot. We shot like 26% from the field for that for the whole game.
And they shot in the 50s, and they also had 11 block shots. I mean, they got some monsters in there.
Right, and that really affects our field goal percentage.
Right, yeah.
There's Eustace right there, and he's tough. But there's DJ, just keep him working.
What about Andy there? Tell me about his play this last week.
Andy and Lawrence really grew up. And I'll tell you what happened. We had a shoot around at noon before this game. And I told them to be in the lobby at 11:40. Well, Lawrence and Andy weren't there. So I left both of them at the hotel. And I was like, well, you know, they're not going to lay around and sleep while we're working. So we brought those two in, and they worked 3 times harder than everyone else. And they really stepped up. They responded to it well. And after the game, the other players were actually joking with Andy, saying, why don't you make Coach Chumbler mad again? So, but they did. They voluntarily came in and did that workout the next day.
That's good. That's good.
And no, they both played exceptionally well.
Right, right. Yeah, it was good to see him, especially in the next game we're going to talk about, the Dyersburg State. I thought he played really well.
He really did.
Here's your second half, and once again, Eustis is covering up Williams over there, but
Right.
opens up Andy there.
Well, Andy
That's a
turned
good
and
drive.
faced, and Andy can put the ball on the floor a little bit.
There's DJ again. Just a solid player.
You know you're going to get DJ.
Something that I thought you guys did do better, even though the stats didn't necessarily show it. I thought your rebounding, blocking out seemed to be a lot better from a lot of different kids.
Coach Bess actually asked me the next day, he said, how do you get those kids to block out the way they do? And well, treadmill does wonders. They're not always like that, but we did block out very well.
There's your final score, Coach. And again, like I said, you were going to have to do a lot of things right, and they were going to have to, honestly, do a few things wrong for you guys to be able to win that game.
Right.
They're just so solid. I mean, Coach Bess, we've talked about him, all his wins, national champions, and
Right.
they've just got a lot of things good going for them right now.
They're a very, very good basketball team, and even though we lost by 30, I wasn't too disappointed in the way we played. I thought we played fairly well.
Right, I thought y'all played fairly well. You missed a few shots. Maybe you should have hit, but that when you have 11 blocked shots against you, that's going to alter your shots.
Absolutely, absolutely. We took care of the ball fairly well though. So.
Yeah, you did. Not very many turnovers.
The first two games we didn't have many turnovers.
Right. All right, Coach. There's 2 games down. We got one more to go in this week's show. You are watching West Kentucky Stars Basketball Weekly. Welcome back to West Kentucky Stars Basketball Weekly. Coach, up at the Three Rivers Classic, we've got to talk about this last game you played, Dyersburg State. I thought you guys played really well for about 3/4 of the game.
We did, and it's probably the most painful loss of my coaching career.
Goodness.
Because we had it. You
Right.
think, we broke the streak. We're back in the win column.
Right.
And we just let it get away. We didn't close the deal, and we have to learn. We have to learn to close the deal, but I'll accept responsibility. I've got to teach them to close the deal.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I'm not going to put it all on them.
You can't take your foot off the accelerator.
Ever, especially with a team like them, because they can score a lot quick.
Right, and they did.
They scored a whole lot quick.
You had them down. Here are the highlights, Coach. I mean, you had them for 3/4 of the game, really more than that. Looked really well offensively, really well defensively.
Yeah, we were up 10 at half, and that's great ball movement.
Mm-hmm. this high angle here that you guys shot with, you can really see the spacing that you guys have, and that was something earlier in the year we talked about spacing, how you struggled there. In this game, you can really see how you guys have improved there.
Right.
It's a good 2-on-1 break.
It was,
finish.
and I like to see
Great pass.
Andy sprinting to get up there too. That's a good take by Andy.
Mm-hmm.
Andy played really well this game.
It's a really strong finish right there. Really good move, good
Yeah,
post
'cause
move.
that guy he's going over is 6'7", 6'8".
It's a good shot, good finish by Kilder.
That was a good pass. Good job of Lawrence to be ready. You know,
Right.
a couple weeks ago he wouldn't have been ready for that.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. He's really been coming on strong for you.
He and Andy were really, they were bright spots for the whole weekend.
And you honestly need, of any of the players that you've got, you need those two to really come on strong if you're
Right.
going to be successful. 'Cause, at the rest of the positions, you match up, you know, fairly well with most of these big teams, and you're usually outsized a little bit, but it's really been hurting you down low is where you guys have really struggled.
Yeah, and I don't worry if Anthony and DJ are outsized
Right.
because they'll outquick them.
Right.
That's a good follow by Kevin that played before. That was a great screen by Zach Kimball. And I told them when we watched the film, that was probably the best screen we've set all year. It may be the only screen we've
my
set
goodness.
all year. But it was a great screen. Great pass by Jay.
Really good pass.
Kilo padding his stats a little bit there.
Yeah, he's needing his rebounds up a little bit. He just seemed to struggle at times this tournament, Kilder. He was able to get his own rebound there.
Yeah.
But,
He's got to do a better job of handling the ball. If he's going to play a guard, he's got to do a better job of handling the
yeah,
ball.
he seems to just want to panic
But
sometimes.
he wasn't the only one.
Right,
You know, we had
right.
30 turnovers this game.
Like you said, you're up 10 here at halftime. Feeling pretty good at halftime?
I felt real good.
Zach Kimbler, he's shot really well.
He shot that's a good pass by Jake. He shot the ball well the whole week. Good job of Andy to be active.
I've said it before, but because he shoots well outside, that gives him that mid-range jumper right there.
Right.
That was one of the best moves I've seen by any postman this year right there, that move Andy just had.
Yeah. And his footwork's getting a lot better. I like that too. A little jump stop.
Fakes out two people right there.
Let's go, Zach!
There's Mr. Kimbler again from the outside.
Yeah, I'm not going to say whose name I'm thinking about because he said, we talk about him. But
He'll know what you're talking
he
about.
knows what I'm talking about.
You guys are on the break there, and it seems like you guys were able to push a lot more this game than you had been, but a lot of that's just the nature of who you're playing.
Right. See, that's why we pushed more because
Right.
they
That's a
only
great-
had two that actually got back.
That was a great pass,
Yeah.
and another
Yeah.
great pass.
DJ had 13 assists. 13 assists with only 3 turnovers.
That's a great ratio.
Yeah.
Anytime you
I'll
got your
take that
point.
any day of the
Oh,
week.
absolutely.
20 points, 13 assists, and 7 rebounds.
Now here, 7 minutes to go. You guys are up 90-74,
Yep.
and I don't know if you guys think, well, it's just easy sailing from here on out, or what happened, but it certainly wasn't. It seemed like Dyersburg, they got a little more aggressive on their defense, and the refs just let them play, which is fine, but you guys didn't compensate for that. You didn't find the
here's-
holes. Or
Here's one thing our kids have to realize. They're not happy when they don't get the call.
Mm-hmm.
But we shot twice as many free throws as Dyersburg State.
Mm-hmm.
We just didn't hit them. When you miss 12 free throws in the second half alone, it's going to be hard to win.
There's the end of regulation right there, and you guys are tied at 102. A lot of points going up in this game.
Well, we gave up 58 points in the second half.
Mm-hmm.
If we gave up 58 then.
Probably a lot of those in those last 8 minutes of the game we were just talking about.
There's Zach again.
Not a lot of highlights here in the overtime, though.
No, we gave up 18 points. we could have done their highlights because they gave up 18 points. I mean, they scored 18.
So there's your final score in overtime, 120 to 115. A lot of points going up. Coach, it's just one of those games that you really, really wanted to win. Felt like you should have won.
And that one was painful. I mean, really, really painful.
Right.
But we missed 12 free throws, and I keep saying it, but we missed 12 free throws in the second half and had 19 turnovers in the second half alone, 30 for the game. It's hard to beat anybody playing like that.
Right, you're absolutely right. And speaking of beating anybody, how are you going to bounce back? The schedule, like we said before, doesn't get any easier. You got Mid-South, December the 5th. You're going down there to West Memphis, Arkansas.
We've picked up the intensity in practices. You know, for the kids to be able to do it, they have to be taught it. And maybe it's not all them. Maybe we need to do a better job teaching it.
Right.
So we've gone back to some of that. We've gone back to holding everyone more accountable. And if you don't block out, you hit the treadmill. You know, everything.
Right.
And I think we'll bounce back. Right now, the main thing is our confidence. We just have to believe we can win again. And these kids are beat down enough as it is without me yelling at them. So it's time to teach and not yell.
It's such a game of momentum, and whoever has momentum, you really want that momentum at the end of the game, and it's not just games, it's throughout the season. It's momentum. There's ups and downs.
Right.
And right now you're in a little bit of a down spell, but it doesn't take a lot to get that momentum going, swinging back your way. Right.
And we're in a brutal part of our schedule right now, but a game like that we should have won, that hurts. And, we played 2 fairly good games just against really good teams. And then the third game, I'm not taking any away from Dyersburg State, but we should have won that ball game.
Right. Yeah, I felt like you should have too. All right, Coach, that's about all the time we've got for this week. What's Mid-South going to throw at you real quick?
A bunch of athletes. And I say that every week, but I think everybody's got athletes this year. They've got Tasmania Jones back, and he's 6'7", 260.
Goodness, they're down there in West Memphis, and there's just a lot of good basketball.
They are, but it's a great atmosphere. It's a great arena. It looks like a mini Brooklyn Nets arena. Brand new gym.
Yeah.
The people down there are great. It'll be a fun trip.
All right, Coach, thanks so much. Thank you for tuning in. You have been watching West Kentucky Stars Basketball Weekly.